could you generate great heart, which is the altruistic mind of the enlightened mind, the compassion. That is, we need to remind each other, and it is very important to have good attitude, the attitude of the Buddha and the Bodhisattvas, which is concerning all the sentient beings, want to do some benefit for them. And that is we call the Bodhicitta. And to generate this attitude, when we are studying this text, that's called the 37 practice of the Bodhisattvas. Practice of the Bodhisattvas. The meaning of the practice of the Bodhisattvas is the explanation of the attitude and conduct of the Bodhisattvas. And if we learn, if we study, reflect on this Bodhisattvas practice, which is conduct, the attitude and conduct, it will bring to us such benefit, the benefit of the temporary or benefit for the ultimate. And then it's like all the crucial point of the Bodhisattva's attitude and conduct included in the compassions, and therefore to generate the compassions. And then this takes itself, it has 3 sections. We call the virtue of the beginning, the virtue of the middle, the virtue of the conclusions. And the virtue of the beginning, we are kind of finished, and then we are in the middle of the virtues. It has preliminaries, the manner of entering into the Dharma. And that is also, it is very important in order to receive the teaching or in order to practice the principle, main part of the path. And also, generally speaking, in the preliminary aspect, there are like 4, we call the 4 reminders. This is like a general Buddhist path, and the path for the preliminary sessions. Principally, there are 4 reminders. Reminder of the human existence, reminder of impermanent cause, effect, effects of the samsaras. And here it says why we need preliminary aspect in order to receive for the main part. Because first time is the preliminary aspect is like a kind of great preparation in order to have the main part. And if we are not prepared for the preliminary part, we jumping to the main part, then the main part is not very stable, not very good. And therefore, this preliminary aspect is very, very important. It also says the manner of the entry into the Dharma. And yesterday we are talking about the first, and we studied about the human existence. It was first one, yes, and this number is first. And human existence is very important to think about human existence, because Most Thomism Rinpoche says the human body is the great sheep, great boat, which is the human existence or the human body of the sheep can carry to us from the samsara to the nirvanas, from the sufferings to the happy place. And that means if we rely on the human bodies and to recognize these special qualities of the human body, also like advantages of the human body, richest of the human body, precious of the human bodies. And if we recognize our own precious or the jewel or the like kind of most important, valuable of in our this life, which is the human existence. And then we recognize, and then it's like a kind of, we understood, we have great achievement. You know, this achievement cannot compare any kind of president or any richness or any powers in this worldly. And when we achieve or obtain the human existence, it's marvelous and precious, extraordinary. If we used this very well, very capably, intelligently, if we use this human body for some benefit, of course, if we use a wrong way, negative way, you know, and then it's like in the many scriptures of the Buddha's teaching, many in the Shastra of his disciples, and saying that if your human life, you can to make the like a kind of Western or like a kind of meaningless, and then it can do. We can do in according the human bodies. We can do the search and search evil things, and almost it's like this is for the last. Maybe we can to see obtain the human existence. Then it's like almost eternally, or like kind of forever. Almost we are going to into the inferior realms. It is difficult to coming out from this, because it's like in the relatively everything is depends the causalities, and whatever we done, positive or the negatives, then the maturation itself is also positive and negative, and that is like someone's not given to us, and someone's not installed to us. And nobody's like cannot make like this. But in the future we will be happy or we will be suffering. Completely, entirely depends on our own individual approach to the activities. And therefore we are learning. It is a kind of logical. It is a kind of how to say, it's like reasonable. For example, we can to look at our daily life. In our daily life, if someone's become precise and really like decisive, whatever they do, intelligent, never do the crazy things, and to study very well, and to changing the like behaviors, and something do good things, then their life is wonderful and happy, successful, and that is obvious. It's not given by Buddha or by God or by other things. And also holiness to saying, look in the Tibetan peoples, sometimes Tibetan peoples all the time pray the Zambalas, please can you make me rich, can you make successful? But they don't doing nothing. Maybe sometimes they do all the time negative things. Then they pray the day and night for the Zambala, but their whole life is poor. And then he compared that in European people. For example, in European people, most people don't believe any spiritualities. They believe that to have good education, good kind of to making the civilizations, to making the good business, and also they put effort to really doing the good thing. Then it's successful. In that science, these signals is good or bad in the future. So everything depends on our movement of the body and speech. This is the obvious. Last time is when I was in the meeting times, we talking about the respect, to others. Sometimes this modern times to respect to the teachers, lamas, and lamas is coming, everybody get up, and the kind of lamas be in the temples and participating. This is now many people hated. And then it's we are talking about what do you think in Europeans? In European, of course, to do it, a spiritual, religious perspective, we are hated, we don't want it. But it's we have special moral discipline. It is a kind of, I don't know, how do you call it? If you go to the Switzerland, really diplomatic family situations, how many there is a fox, knife, and the pellets. And once I was there, I got 3 pellets, 5, maybe 4 knives, 4 forks. The what? And what it is? And you need to eat and not kind of like this. You need to. This is also kind of, how do you say? It's a respect and it's moral discipline. And one of my uncle is in Switzerland. He said, "Hey, did you study in the European cultures?" I said, which kind of? He told me, "You need to put belt there. You never eat forks like this. All the time like this. You never eat like this, You need to eat it." This which kind of moral discipline? Where is the benefit? I'm really seriously. And if you go to the office, you need to study out diplomatic questions, be in the office. Even you, for example, before she was in the big office, and she invited me once party, her boss, everybody's there, and I look at her. It's really diplomatic. But it's with I don't know, her favorite, and she's all the time like this. But there are some how to say, if you do good things, it is for the really such benefit. In the middle of in the European peoples, I heard some lamas in Tibet is a kind of, when they serve the food and they catch it by hand. For me, sometimes in Tibet it's okay, it's you catch, but Europeans may be shocked. Then after, who can you eat? You use your hand. And but in the middle of maybe some diplomatic way you do then everybody, no educations, no educated, no civilizations, they criticize, they don't like. In this case, I'm saying the small activities also to make big different things. And therefore, in our human, when we obtain the human existence, most important things is to find out the cause of the happiness, to find out the cause of the sufferings. We have this kind of distinctions, what is right and wrong, to have in our mind, quoting the discriminating wisdoms, to have clearly. Then we need to take a responsibility ourselves. And also it's in the Buddhist perspective, there is moral discipline, it's nothing related to the Buddhas. For example, if we are keeping the moral discipline, it is a benefit for Buddha, for the lamas, nothing. The moral discipline is doing positive things, only the benefit for yourself. That is the truth, that is the realities. And in this case, you follow some virtuous activities, very good for you. You're making for the meaning for your life. And in this life, you obtain the human existence, maybe quoting that, and you are doing in the future forever happiness. Therefore, for example, Buddha, he says, you need to take responsibility. Do not ask your mother and do not ask your father. You need to decide it. That is the most important. For example, yesterday also we are talking about native land and also homeland. Homeland and native land, sometimes when you do the positive things, even the families to say is that, no, you all the time talking positive. Why you say? For example, I met one, monk after he's become lay person, and some people they say he's stupid. For me, it's like he's a very spiritual friend. It's a very great teacher, and often I like go together in the mountain, and then I ask to him, could you give me advice? Why you become the lay person? How many years did you study? And he said, I studied many. He was in the Hiroshima University many years. And then Chinese occupied in Tibet, he became the lay person. And funny stories, I don't want to, but. And then his wife is very active. It's really like a kind of successful lady. And he's just a simple, just a monk. Difficult to make business, but he look after animal very well, and he sometimes can eat soils, and then he told me many good things. It's really pit instruction, behaviors, people's thinking, this and then he said it's like when I become lay person, when I give up the vows, I haven't got any regret. It is normal, and I like. Something, but of course, but he's in life, he has only one, like the regret, big regret, and he sometimes complains to his wife.